Welcome, peace, love. What's up? Larry the Pen Bug Guy. Yep, welcome back for another review on a Pilot pen. I'm going to tell you what I love about a pen and what I don't love about a pen. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. He can too. Watch. That's my main man, Mr. Minion. Now, he is the man. So anyway, first pen we'll start off with is the Plumix by Pilot. Okay? And then, people like myself from here went to the Metropolitan. A little bit more pricier than the Plumix. You can get the Plumix, under $6. Metropolitan, they're going for about $15. And the next step up would be the Pilot G78. And I will get into you about nibs and what's different about the Pilot G78. And I'll go over the pen for you, and then I'll do a writing sample, and then I'll tell you what I love about the pen, what I don't love so much about the pen. So, all right, we're back to the Pilot G78. A decent fountain pen. I've noticed that this pen, at least to me, writes better with different types of ink. Other than I used some of the Robert Oyster, I forgot what color ink, but it just didn't write that well. And then I put the Pilot Yamabudo in it, and then it just took off like a rocket. So, you know, different inks give your pens different effects, I think, when you're writing. The flow can even be a bit different. But this pen works really nice. The flow on this pen works well. Is it a great pen? No, it's not. But it's a decent, okay pen. This has a stub, a 1.0 stub. They usually come with a broad nib, but this is definitely a 1.0 stub on it. And you can tell off the bat just by looking at the nib. And I've compared it against some other Pilot 1.0 nibs, and they're the same thing. So this one did come with that particular nib. On the nib itself, it says broad, but it writes more, like I said, to a 1.0 stub. And before I do the writing and show you some examples of some Pilot nibs, I'll go over the measurements on this pen. It's right now closed like it is, 5.32 inches. Posted is 5.86 inches. The weight, it's got a little bit of ink left in it, about 13 G's on it. And it's a plastic body with a gold-plated trim. And like it says, broad nib. And yes, you can make this pen into an eyedropper if you prefer. And it's unscrewed, and it does post securely. And I like to use this pen just like you see me here. Works really well. You can unpost it and still write with it, depending on your hand size. So I have small hands, and it still works well. You unscrew it, and there's the squeeze converter it came with. And it's okay. I don't mind these converters. I like to change out inks a lot, so it's okay. It's cool. So what I'm going to do now is, let's go to the writing part. Here I'm using the Pilot Yamabudo ink, really some nice ink, and this is how it writes. You see the downstrokes here and then the cross strokes. Okay, so let me bring out a vanishing point with a broad nib, which is going to be right here. So I'll put these together. There's a downstroke of a broad and the side stroke. And then here's the G78, downstroke, side stroke. Yep, to me it's not a question, it's 1.0 to me. And that's my opinion. You can think what you like, but I'm going to stick to what I said. That's what it writes like. And that's fine. So a little bit of writing. And it's a bit scratchy. May have to smoothen it a little bit. So this is how it writes, and no problems writing. But it's can do some smoothing. I find on a lot of these italic stubs, or even just a plain stub, that it can be scratchy at times. More than I like, because, you know, if you keep up with my channel, I prefer smooth nib. And here is a Pilot with a broad nib. Okay, and so I just showed you the downstroke on the broad and the side stroke. And I just used some Diamine J green on that. And then we're going to come down next to the brown. And I think that's it right there. We're going to use the Pilot Metropolitan. Now, this one has a 1.0 nib. I remember this nib when they came out with the nib. Yeah, I jumped on it and got it. So there's the downstroke and side stroke, and over here is your downstroke and side stroke. Same thing. Exactly. Same thing. Then we're going to go with another Pilot Metropolitan. Going to use the Pelican for 001 turquoise blue, and this is a medium nib. A very nice pen. And this is a downstroke, cross stroke, and up over here, there's the downstroke, cross stroke. You can see it's not as wide on the down stroke. Nice little pen. I have no complaints about the Metropolitans at all. Very affordable. And then here's another one. Now this one has a fine nib, and I'm using KWZ Hawaii Blue. Now, I do like this nib. As you well know, I'm not into fine nibs unless they're wet. But this one is a nice, decent, fine nib, and I like it. And there's the downstroke and the cross stroke. And I'll bring it over here. not as wide, much thinner than the medium or the 1.0. And there's the cross stroke. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to bring out the Pilot Pro. And it has the Robert Oyster Gold Antique. Just because I have it filled up with ink, so I might as well. And that's another nice pen. Now this is more in the $50 range. So these pens you can get them for, depending from the seller, $14 to $25. These pens you can get them again depending on the seller, $14 to $19. $14 to $19. I've seen them $14, $15, and $19. And what I'm going to do, just for the heck of it, because I can, the Pilot Pumix. I'm just going to dip this little jewel into the bottle of ink. And write with it a bit. And this one shows a medium, but it writes more as the 1.0. Let me just show you over here real quick. Downstroke, cross stroke. But it has the same type of nib as a 1.0. But it's closer to a medium, so I don't know. It could be a true medium, but reminds me of the 1.0 stub. I think they also call them a calligraphy pen as well. You can leave your comments below and I'll clarify that with me if I made a mistake. But, you know, it's a decent pen. It writes real well. Downstroke, cross stroke. That's why to me, it's more of a 1.0 stroke. If you can see that wide stroke going down and that thin stroke going across. So that's what it reminds me of. And let me put this little jewel up before I spill it all over the place. Last but not least, while I do have these pens inked up, I'll bring you two other vanishing points, which I'm getting ink all over my fingers. And this is the Pilot Vanishing Point 1.0. There we go, same thing. There you have it. Now, downstroke, wider. You have a wider downstroke and a thinner cross stroke. I thought I'd go ahead and show that one too while I'm at it. Last but not least, here's another vanishing point. It has a medium nib, which I think is cool because I like that twist and your nib comes out. Boom, I think that's kind of cool. And I'm using the Sailor Gentle on this one for the ink. And here's the downstroke and cross-stroke. True medium nib. That's real well. Well, there you have it. Here's the Pilot G78 with the broad nib, but like I said before, it's more of a 1.0 millimeter stub nib. It's a decent pen. So prices real quick, especially for beginner folks if you're interested in pens. 14, depending where you buy it, up to 25. I've seen them for sale. I checked on them today. The Metropolitan pens, they run $14.95 to $19. I've seen those prices today. Vanishing points run about $150. I did see a sale on for a couple of ones, couple of black ones for $130. Pilot Prera is a little bit more up there, higher than all these guys over here. It's about 50, 55 bucks in that area. And the Pilot Puma is the cheapest of all of them. I think it's what, under $6. Yeah, pretty decent little pen. I think it's a cool pen. It reminds me of a spaceship. Some people it reminds them of an octopus, I think, was it? But it's a cool pen. So that's going to wrap up this video for this pen, the Pilot G78. I hope you found the video interesting. I know I did. I've learned a lot about this nib and compared it to other nibs. So it was an interesting learning day for me with the Pilot G78. Folks, leave your comments below. Be civil. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, feel free to do so. If you tap on that bell, it'll notify you every time I do a video. So you never know what I will be showing. Peace. Remember, don't text and drive. Pilot G78.